Hey, folks, when it comes to video games and platformer mascots, how many have come and gone over the years? And, it seems like we've seen quite a bit of resurgence of some of these forgotten mascots, like, hell, Bubsy got a couple of new games. Now, I kind of always liked Bubsy's games back in the day. I don't know why. I guess they were kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, but we've seen him come back. Mega Man got a new game last year, Mega Man 11. Very good if you haven't played it yet. I actually saw a thing that recently that Mega Man, the game has sold over 1 million copies, which is good. So, I hopefully, if we do see like Mega Man 12, 13, etc., I've said this countless times, I'll say it again. Hopefully they bring back the contest, like the Robot Master Design contest, like the one we saw in Nintendo Power back in 1993. I mean, obviously yeah. And there's also talk of a Earthworm Jim game in development. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully it's good. I remember when there was a new Battletoads game announced, and then when we saw like a teaser, and then we saw the actual trailer, and it's like, the thing is, I'll probably wait, when it comes out, I'll probably watch some, like, Let's Plays or something to see what if it's, I don't know, like, to see, the art style is weird, but if the gameplay is good, then it's like, alright, I'll give it a chance. But that being said, these are some platformer characters from back in the day that, I wouldn't mind seeing them make a comeback, if you will. So let's get right into it. The first one is Jumping Flash. Well, that's the name of the game. The character's name, I think, is Robert. It should be on here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Robert. At least I think that. Whatever. But, this was actually a very fun game. And yeah, the graphics haven't really aged well, but it's still a pretty fun game to play. And it was actually, the first one is on, the PlayStation Classic. And it was funny, I remember, what was that, like 2.5 years ago when Bubsy was coming back and it was announced, and then it was like, I remember Megason made a video and he's like, who the hell decided to dig this cat out of the litter box? And he mentioned other platformers coming back, and he's like, what about Jumpin' Flash? Again, I wouldn't mind seeing a new Jumpin' Flash game. Or even just like an HD remaster or something would be good. Next we have Blinks the Time Sweeper for the original Xbox. Yeah, he got a couple of games, but then he kind of just fizzled out. I guess Master Chief was maybe a better mascot for the Xbox brand or something, but this was a really cool game because it's like you manipulate time to navigate through the stages and like solve puzzles and stuff. And there's a lot of people who never played this game. I'm sure it's probably backwards compatible with the Xbox One or something, but it's a character that, well, let's be honest, I mean, like the Xbox brand, they really dropped the ball with exclusives this gen, so, if they're gonna make more exclusives for next gen, maybe bring back some old characters, like this one, for example, some old IPs, if you will. Now let's dig into the N64, some of the more cheesy characters. This one's a bit of a stretch. Glover. This game it has a lot of pros and cons. I'm not going to go into all the details of that, but it's a pretty fun game. It's just very, very hard. And there's a lot of flaws, which I'm not going to go into all the details on that. Probably the biggest pro of this game, I think, is the music. It's just so, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just very, very good, the music in this game. And it has a lot of goofy aspects to it. Like I said, it's a very fun little game. It's very interesting, very unique, if you will. So I wouldn't mind seeing this character come back. Here's another one. Rocket Robot on Wheels. This was actually made by Sucker Punch, or developed by Sucker Punch, the same company who did the Sly Cooper games. Interesting thing, the villain in this game is actually a raccoon. And, well, Sly Cooper is a raccoon. This was a pretty unique little platformer. I think I talked about it more in my N64 collection video, so I'm not going to go into all the details, but it's a fun little game. You could probably beat it in, like, maybe a week or less, like, if you really dug into it. A very unique platformer. Kind of hard to describe. You know, like I said, I talked about it more in my N64 collection video. But, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing this game come back, or even if they just did, like, an HD remaster of it or something, would have been pretty cool. Now we're digging into the 16-bit era, which I think this is where we saw a lot of, like, I think this was kind of like the prime of, like, platformers that came and went, you know, because a lot of them tried to ascend into 3D and just didn't cut it. The first one, he actually was before the 16-bit era. He was on the NES, too. It's Spot, you know. Hey, why not? You know, the little Pepsi logo guy. This one's probably a bit of a stretch. I mean, I don't... People probably haven't talked about this guy in ages, but... I don't know, I always thought his games were kind of fun. I liked the music in them, so... You know, hey, Pepsi's still around. You know, people drink Pepsi every day, so... Why not? Or Pepsi, 7-Up, whatever. Was he Pepsi or 7-Up? Oh, it was 7-Up, excuse me. Alright. Wow. Well, you know what I'm talking... Well, okay, so people drink 7-Up every day. Maybe not as much... Well, whatever. So, next... Aero the Acrobat. Very good little platformer. It's made by Sunsoft, so the music is really good. And he was a cool little guy. You know, a little bat guy who could do... I don't know, I haven't played this game in forever, but it's a very good game. Like, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back. Or another character who's in this game and actually got his own game was Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. That's a very good platformer. Expensive. I have it on my classic edition, but it's a good game. You know, both of those characters. Oh, him. Unless they like change his name, that might be a little hard to make a game with him this day. Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, but you know, Aero the Acrobat, I could see. You know, him making a comeback. Now, a couple of characters that, games that I don't own physically, two of them I'm going to talk about. One is Booger Man. You know, that was, 90s, that was like the gross out era, which is why he really shined during that time, Booger Man, but, I don't know, truth be told, I love toilet humor. Guilty, it kind of runs in my family, but, so yeah, like, stuff like that still makes me laugh. Like, you know, if they brought back Booger Man and gave him, like, a new game, and, you know, these games don't have to be 3D either, like a lot of these old, I mean, other than the games that are obviously made in 3D, but the ones that are, like, you know, from the 16-bit era and stuff could obviously kept, like, as a 2D side-scroller, but, yeah, Booger Man, he was a funny character, you know, I don't know, like, you know, we see a lot of, like, toys and board games based around toilet humor nowadays, like, so, hey, why not bring him back? Lastly, Sparkster, who was he was an opossum, I can never say that right, opossum, whatever, but he was like an opossum with, like, medieval knight armor, a sword, and a jetpack. Very neat little character, and he had a cool, pretty world. It was almost like Sonic in a way, or like a cross. It's almost like a mix between a couple of things, like Sonic and I don't know, maybe Bubsy or something. I don't know, but and you know the only thing is those games were made by Konami, so it's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, he had one for the Super Nintendo and one for the Genesis, which I think was actually a sequel. But that's a very good... Both of those are very good games. If you haven't played them, you know, check them out. But I don't know, like Konami, you know, like the way Konami has been lately. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's a possibility, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing them try. At least they're... I don't know. Konami is just... I don't know, but. Who knows? Maybe he could come back, but yeah. So, who are some platformers that people don't really remember, or that just we haven't heard from in years that you would like to see come back, let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.